Hey y'all, my name is Haley and Swatzell. This is my husband Josh, and we are filming a 4-part video series about my sexual assault and my book, After All I've Been Through. This is part 3 of that video. If you've not seen the other 2, I will have those linked down below in the description box. And I'll let you take over since you're kind of like the one asking me the questions.
Okay. So, if you've seen the last 2 videos, you know sort of the format. I just ask random questions about life, Haley's life, and if you've not seen them yet, start with those and then come to this because it might get a little confusing. But you'll see the basic questions that we ask, so, and the flow. But so, okay, we're past the assault. We'll say 6 to 8 months passed. What was your life like?
So sad. Just, I mean, like that's the only, and that's not even like a good word. Like it was awful. I remember for a few months I was left in my apartment alone, which I did live in my apartment alone in that city. But I was left there on my own, didn't have anything to do during the day, couldn't sleep at night. So I was binge eating, like I couldn't eat. And when I did eat, like it was very binge eating patterns. I was drinking loads of alcohol on an empty stomach to like make myself throw up, so I wasn't keeping like anything in my stomach. Mainly because like I have love handles and I have them even when I'm skinny or whatever, but like that's like the one thing that I remember is like him grabbing that part of me. And so I wanted to get rid of as much of it as I could. So that's kind of like why that binge eating habit started. But like I would go and like go on hikes by myself. I would go and just take long drives by myself, and just I was too alone. Like I was very in my head, and it was depressing. It's very depressing.
I know when I get in my head alone, it gets crazy too. So. Now, in all seriousness, what was your relationship with God starting to look like at that point?
It wasn't until, it wasn't until that summer that I met up with an old friend, and she was like, hey, there's this like program called Regeneration, and it's a 12-step biblically based program. And she was like, I think it'll help you. And at this point, like I had given up all hope in anything. Like God, everything, like even the whole New Age movement, like everything was gone. Like I had just went to a deep pit of despair. So I was like, okay, God, like we'll give that one more chance. Like everybody seems to, like people that have like a real true relationship with Jesus, they're like, I don't know, they have a hope that I was looking for. So I was like, all right, we'll give that one more chance. And then that's when I did start church hopping as well. I started going to church with her too. So I felt like, and I was learning I was like, oh, there's such thing as a relationship with Christ. Had no clue. Like I didn't realize that it was more than just reading your Bible and praying. Like I didn't realize that there was more to it than that, or that there really could be more to it.
What was your relationship becoming with friends and family at that point?
Gosh, it's the closest like it's been since like I was a kid. Because I remember as a kid, like I just felt like we all got together a lot more and had parties a lot more, and not like parties like woo, just like birthday parties and stuff. We were not crazy, but we were very close because by that point I feel like I had told like everybody in my immediate family and all of my friends as well. They were super super supportive of me ever since then, which that's been 5 years ago. This summer it'll be 5 years. That's wild. But ever since then we've been super close. They've been super supportive of me and what I've kind of been going through and what I've been doing. So that's been the best part, because like there was a certain point, and I won't delve too into that because that's not important here. There was a certain point that like I stopped being close with my mom's side of the family. So it was like rekindling all those relationships again, because like family is super important to me, but there for a certain period of time, not because of my sexual assault, because of something else. family had been put on the back burner. So it was like re-getting all of the stuff that I really loved and cared about, like being more of a priority in my life.
As we've asked in the last videos, what would you tell if you had the Haley from 5 years ago, or say even 4 years ago, here with you now, what would you tell her?
As annoying as it is, because people would say that, but it's so true, like it gets better. Like this is, although at this moment in time, I don't know if I say that. Right now I feel like life's a roller coaster. No, but it does. Like it does get better. And it takes time. It just takes time. Like trying to be put on medication and going through that whole spiel of like a whole 6 months to a year trying to figure stuff out. It gets better, but it takes a lot of time. And I feel like in a world of instant gratification, at least for me anyway, like I want things right now. Like I don't want to go through the trials and tribulations that it takes to get to the other side. Like I want it right here, right now. Because I want all of the bad feelings and all of the bad thoughts to just be taken away.
In the last video, we talked a little bit about how you got into New Age. Mm-hmm. Did it quit helping, or did you just find like something better?
I was practicing New Age until I met you, actually.
You heard it here first, folks. I didn't know that. I knew that she still had some stuff, which we've thrown away since then. But
yeah, I threw it away that night. But yeah, I was still practicing New Age up until I met Josh, actually. So that was a couple of years.
That explains some stuff.
So yeah, because I mean it was still working, and some like I watch YouTube. I don't really watch TV, or I don't really do a whole lot of social media. So YouTube is how I get fed stuff, and yeah, a lot of the YouTubers that I was watching were like super into the New Age movement, and I was like, oh, well, it seemed to be working super great for them, and it was working super great for me. But I was also, so like I had that on one side, and I had building a relationship with God on the other side, and obviously the two, they can't live together. So it was hard, and I didn't tell anybody about me being in the New Age movement because I didn't understand what it was and that it was bad and that I was even doing it. You know what I mean? Like it just felt so natural to do it. It was like, surely it can't be bad. So nobody really even knew until I met you.
I bring out the worst in you. So we might have to do another video where we talk about that and your experience with New Age.
New Age, okay.
So
that'd be fun.
That'll be in the future.
Yeah, that's later on.
Because now you got me curious and thinking. So, what would you tell others who have gone through it, what you've gone through?
I would say get to a place, even if it's just one person, or even if it's really just writing it out at first, that's super helpful, but get to a place where you can share it. Because the first time that I shared it with like family and friends, like the amount of relief that I felt from that was super beneficial. But with saying that, you do have to watch like who you do share it with, because there are going to be people out there that are probably going to either disagree with you, talk about how they've either had it worse, or like belittle your experience, or they're just flat out not going to 100% believe you at all, which I have had a wide multitude of all of that, because I got to a point where I was like so excited to share that like I overshared in situations that I shouldn't have shared in, and it like negatively affected me.
Know your audience.
Yeah, know your audience. So, I mean, do get to it. Like, I mean, I feel like we all have at least like one or two people. Like, because I mean, now in my life, like when I share stuff, I do have a very close-knit group of people that I only share specific things with. And that's people that have just been in my life for years now. So, pretty much since the sexual assault.
Yeah. Did I ask how anxiety and depression's been? I don't think so.
In this one?
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Well, how's anxiety and depression been going? I mean, I know.
It's been going great. There was a period of time where I was on medication for about a year, and I thought, oh, I don't need medication anymore because I take medication for depression. And I got off the medication. We're back on that same thing, but it took about a year to get back on it because we had to go through a year's worth of being on this medication and trying that medication and doing that, the whole thing again. It was so annoying. So we're not doing that again anytime soon. But the anxiety has actually what's been worse. Like, it's not been this bad since like college. So like whether it's a job or a circumstance or a situation, whatever have you, I noticed that I'm reaching for anxiety meds a little bit more. There was even a certain point in time where like I was taking anxiety meds daily, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I didn't want to have to rely on because I knew I could kind of handle it. So now I'm in a place where it's kind of like, oh, well, when things get really bad, I do have anxiety meds to take, but I don't really use them that much. So right now, like, I'm in a really good place because my medication's working. I get knocked down, but I get back up pretty quickly. The anxiety's going pretty well. So yeah, I feel like right now I'm in a better place than I've ever been mentally.
Good. Well, obviously from this one we've got, sounds like a couple of more videos that we'll be doing at some point in the future. But do you have anything else you want to share?
No. I do want to make a video, and whether you're in it or not, about like my time staying there. Like, why did I stay there? Do you know what I mean? Because but that might actually be a question that's asked, is why I stayed there. And why I stayed there so long. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I stayed there 8 months after the assault. And that sounds crazy to people. And it kind of is. But there's a reason. There's a method to the madness. So.
That, and one of the podcasts that I listened to, actually I'll give them a little bit of a shout out, Crime Junkies. Because they give some really good information, even on stuff like this. But the thing is, they always say, we like to think we know what we're going to be like if we go through that situation, how we're going to respond. But until it happens, you don't know how you're going to respond.
No.
And so,
no.
And like you said, there's method to madness. And so, but yeah, you want to close us out how you normally do?
So, if you have bought the book, if you've bought it specifically off Amazon, you're able to leave a review on Amazon. If you did not buy it from Amazon, you can go and create an account on Goodreads. It's also just a fun little like social networking for like book readers. So it's a free account. You can go and leave a review of my book on there. And I also have a Facebook page, Hali and Swatzell, that will have like a little tab for reviews, and like you can leave a review on there as well.
Also, on social media, anytime you share one of her posts, her videos, or her writings, be sure and include the hashtag Hali and book. That way, through social media, it's like leaving a 5-star rating.
Yes.
So,
gets it more recognized.
Yeah, we want. I think the best way you put it, this isn't your story.
Yeah.
It's God's story, and just how He's worked in your life and used this for His glory.
Yep.
So, with all that said, if the most important thing that's come through out of this is your relationship with God.
Absolutely.
And so
that was kind of the main ending to the book. Not to like spoil it, but that is like the main thing is I got a relationship with God out of this, and for that I wouldn't trade any of it for the world.
Yeah. So if you don't have a relationship with God, be sure and reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you more in depth. And even if you're wondering, maybe you're going through a situation sort of like this, or just some type of tragedy in life and going, why is this happening to me? Let us know. We'll pray for you.
Yeah.
And try to give words of encouragement, but know you're not alone. You went through too much of being alone, and know the importance of being uplifted and being encouraged. So we want you to know that you're not alone. We love you. God loves you. And that's all I have.
I was going to say something else, but I think that's trademarked. We're not trying to be getting this video taken down. But that is all. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.